Hi everybody, it's Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com, your energy shift expert, here for a terrific Tuesday. I am so excited that each and every one of you has chosen to join tonight. And tonight, I thought I would talk to you about you might be a sensitive if. So for those of you that are old enough to remember, there used to be a comedian whose name was Jeff Foxworthy. And a long time ago, he started his career with, "You might be a redneck if." So I was thinking about that today. And with the shift in the energies, there are so many people that are just coming on board to all of this. They're just learning and waking up and understanding who they truly are. They're understanding that they have been given a gift by God, Spirit, or Source, a talent that they haven't honed, that hasn't been presented to them as a gift. Maybe some people have pushed it down and suppressed it. So I thought I would come on and give it a bit of comedy and talk about you might be a sensitive if. So before I do that, hi to Tim, thank you for watching. Hi to Judy, great for you to watch. And I see there's some other people on, but they haven't commented, so that's okay. So you might be a sensitive if emotionally needy people drain all of your energy. When you're a sensitive, that means that you feel things deeper than other people feel. So like you might feel it in your heart more. You might have people in and out of your office all day and they're angry and they're upset and you're feeling it. You know, at the end of the day, you're just so drained because you've been bombarded by these waves of energy. And if you're in a relationship, whether you're a friend with another, a girlfriend with another girl, or one of your bros, or, if it's a guy and a gal, emotionally needy people will involve you in their drama when you're highly sensitive. Because when they do, as a sensitive person, you tend to give people your focus. You tend to give them your total focus. And in today's society with phones and everything else, people are just like, and I don't use all of the social media, but I'm understanding that there are some dating sites that you just swipe like this across your phone and you can go from one person to the next to the next. I've never seen it, but some of my clients talk to me about it. And that means people's attention is about like that much. They look at the picture, they don't like the picture, they go to the next one. That's it. It is a very shallow society. And a lot of us do our business now by emails. And we don't even have a conversation on the phone. Do you even know how to have a polite conversation? Hey, how's it going? Great, it's fine. Here's why I called, that kind of thing. A lot of it is just email and texting, which doesn't really allow for much human interaction. It does allow us to go faster, I'm finding, because when you're not on the phone, you can just go boom, 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 boom down your emails. But what happens is that we get lost in that as human beings. And us highly sensitive people, we really put our energy out there. We really extend ourselves and we care. So when you're talking to us, we usually have a single focus, although some of us are ADD and ADHD, so we might go off for a minute and come back. But it's a single focus, and that takes a lot of energy to focus on what somebody is saying and listen to understand. Not respond, but listen to understand. That's what highly sensitive people do, or sensitives, or empaths, when we're zeroed in. And that takes a lot of energy to focus, especially in today's world. So if you are highly sensitive, asensitive, or an empath, then chances are there are quite a few people in your life that want to pull your focus, and they will suck it as long as possible because they need the attention, because they're not getting it on social media. They don't belong to clubs. Maybe they don't have sporting events. They're not getting out, and you're it because you're this light, right? If that is you and you feel that way, if you can give me a thumbs up or maybe a face with the tears coming out, that would be good. I want to make sure I'm on the right page for all of you tonight. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So you might be a highly sensitive person if people come to talk to you about their problems, and no matter what solution you give them, they tell you it's not going to work. It pulls you in. Because if that's not going to work, there's something behind that, and there's something behind that. But their message to you is they can't win. And if you keep putting energy forward, oh, I'm getting a lot of hearts from somebody. If you keep putting your energy forward to help them get a win, and they're not gaining any traction whatsoever, and you keep going back and seeing no results in anything that you've suggested that they do, you might be a highly sensitive. You might be an empath. Most people who sincerely want to change may come to you and say they have a problem. And you say, here's a suggestion, and they're like, yeah, I tried that, it didn't work. Here's a different suggestion, and their eyes light up, and they're like, aha, and they go run and try it. That's where I would invest my time. You might be a highly sensitive if your solution to whoever this is, kind of the same thing, is not good enough. A little bit different. Have you ever told someone about a solution you had for your life and they denied it as being good enough for them? Have they told you, oh, that might have worked for you, but blah, 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 blah. If I had the same advantages of you, that might work for me, blah, 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 blah. So you might be a highly sensitive if you give solutions to other people and it's never good enough. So welcome to everybody that's just recently joined us. Thank you so much for the hearts, and let me know that I'm on target with everybody tonight. Again, I designed this Terrific Tuesday for you might be a sensitive if, kind of pattern on Jeff Foxworthy. You know, you might be a redneck because I would like to welcome people aboard who are waking up, who don't know they're sensitives, that don't know they're empathic. And for those of you that are regular watchers, maybe to learn some more ways that people are tapping into your energy, your frequency, and wearing you out. All right, the next one is you might be a sensitive or highly sensitive person or an empath if you find yourself arguing in circles with your significant other. Generally speaking, people that do not want the problem solved, who have cluster B personality or narcissist or psychopath or sociopathic tendencies, this is called cluster B personality. If you are a highly sensitive person or an empath, chances are you are involved with someone like that simply because they tend to magnet towards us. They like people that give them a lot of attention and try to solve things. They also like to bring those people off balance. And one of their techniques to bring you off balance is to talk in circles. So let's say you start out talking to your significant other about an issue, and you tell them how you feel or what a solution might be in working together, and they kind of nod, and then they change the subject. And then 3 or 4 sentences later, they change the subject. And 3 or 4 sentences later, they change the subject. And 3 or 4 sentences, they change the subject. And then boom, they're right back to the first thing you started talking about. And it's as if you never said a word. It's like, didn't we just talk about this? But they don't treat it like you did. It's like you never talked about it. And then you can almost count on the second thing that they talk about will be the second thing you talked about the first time, and it's called a cluster conversation. Or at least in my world, that's what I call it. If anybody out there has a psychology degree or you understand cluster B personalities, you can put down in the feed what it's called, but I call it the cluster conversation. And if you find yourself having a lot of those and not walking away and not drawing boundaries, you might be a sensitive. Okay, I'm getting a lot of hearts, a lot of thumbs up. I so totally appreciate that. If you just find yourself joining us at the end of the broadcast, I will put it right back up into the Facebook feed so you can see the replay. All right, you might be a sensitive if you absorb other people's negative energy and you go home exhausted. Can I get a thumbs up? I wish we had hands up. Can I get a thumbs up? Or maybe the symbol with the emoji with the crying tears. Thank you for that. So, as an empath, as a highly sensitive person, you are not a sponge. Repeat after me. I am not a sponge. So when other people bring negative energy to you, when they talk about things in a negative fashion, or they're really angry about something, when we have close friends or a significant other or husband or a wife, and they come home and they just need to dump, especially women in relationships with men. Women need to come home and just dump. And men are so beautiful, they want to fix. But guys, if you're listening, sometimes women just want to dump. And they're done. Other times they do need help. So if you're a woman, please distinguish to your significant other whether you need to dump or whether you need help, so that that person will know and they won't be, because they don't know. All right, didn't plan on talking about that, but it's a good point. So you might be a sensitive if you absorb other people's negative energy. And if you find yourself doing that, then it's time to look within your heart and begin to build boundaries and self-esteem. They go hand in hand. If you need help with that, if you don't understand what a boundary is, one of my clients today said, I had no idea growing up what boundaries even were. I didn't know they existed. Right? Somebody violated her private space continuously. She didn't have a person who built trust in her life, her mother or her father. And she was left to just do whatever she wanted. Boundaryless, right? Sometimes as an empath or a highly sensitive person, we don't understand boundaries because we weren't treated with trust, respect, love, care, and nurturing, because we were weird. You're too sensitive. You shouldn't respond so much to people that way because you're too sensitive. I'm sure there's other phrases I can't think of right at the moment. Good, I got a heart. Somebody identified with that. But you are a beautiful divine creature, beautiful divine being, if you will. And you were cut out that way, but a lot of people didn't understand it, especially if you're between 40 and 50 years old. Your parents went through like the Great Depression. That's how they grew up, and people are just on a grindstone all the time. And if you didn't fit, you had to stuff it or push it away. And thankfully, we don't have that issue as much today. So we can claim our divinity. We can claim this beautiful gift that we are. We can claim being sensitive. All right, back to the subject. You might be a sensitive if you absorb other people's negative energy. If you're having trouble putting up boundaries, putting up barriers, being more at peace with yourself, or knowing how to get rid of that negative energy, then I would like for you to write me an email at toolsofenergyprotection@gmail.com and tell me your story. I would like to know what's happening for you. How come you feel like people are putting negative energy on you? How come you perceive that you can't get away from it, that you can't say no, that you can't put up boundaries? This is something that I'm working on right now, putting together a workshop, and it would be really important to me if you would write me at toolsofenergyprotection@gmail.com and put in the subject line why I'm a sensitive, why I'm an empath, or how I need help. If you would like for me to work with you one-to-one, you can also put that in the email. Or Thursday, I'll be down for Heaven's Sakes Books at 303-964-9339. And you can call there and set up a 1-hour appointment. But I am looking for feedback as how you are sensitive. You might be a sensitive if. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What are your emotions? What would you like to have stop in your life if you could? If we had a magic wand or could snap our fingers. All right, next. You might be a sensitive if you support other people's bad behavior. If you excuse it. How many of you out there say, oh, you know, that's just Frank, that's just who he is, when really Frank needs to be told that his behavior is bad and not appreciated around you. That's a boundary. But being a sensitive, we often will project ourselves onto that person and remember our own pain, our own trauma, and how we might feel and act out in that way. So that makes it okay because we get it. We get the problem. We understand what's going on with Frank, so it's okay the way he behaves, even though it hurts our feelings or puts negative energy in our space. So you might be a sensitive if you are an enabler. If you excuse other people's bad behavior instead of drawing a boundary because of a childhood trauma, because they drink too much, because, you know, their spouse left them, whatever it is. As a sensitive, we often have compassion, but that doesn't mean we have to put up with people's bad behavior. All right. We, as sensitives, as highly sensitive people, as empaths, are put on this planet to empower not only ourselves, but to empower others through loving support, loving guidance, and strong boundaries. So I am so glad that you took the time to join me this evening, or on the replay on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, or on toolsofenergyprotection.com. And I'm asking that everybody watching tonight would please take the time to send me an email to toolsofenergyprotection@gmail.com and put in the subject header, I am a sensitive because, or I'm a sensitive. And then tell me what it is that you identified with tonight. I might be a sensitive if emotionally needy people keep draining my energy and filling me with their drama. You know, I might be a sensitive if I come home feeling like a sponge that can't take another drop and I'm dripping negative energy all the way through the doorstep. Or maybe your car. You might be a sensitive if you enable others to tell a negative story to you over and over and over again without telling you what steps they've taken to change their lives. Anyway, big hug, big kisses, and guess what? If I'm not mistaken, when I see you next time here on Terrific Tuesday, it'll be February. And we will be talking about love for the month of February. So I'm going to be talking about how to have a good relationship with someone else. I'm going to be talking about things that women do to men that drive them crazy. I'm going to talk about things that women do to men and men do to women that drive each other crazy, because if you don't understand how to communicate and how the communication works, it's not going to work in a loving relationship. And then I will talk about the last week of February. I'll talk about love and how that works with your children, and how maybe if you didn't receive that as a child, how you can transfer that out to your kids. So again, I'm getting lots of hearts. Thank you so much. I will be at the For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver on Thursday, 303-964-9339, or toolsofenergyprotection.com. Click on sessions, scroll down to book now, and it'll take you to my personal book where you can book online. If you can't find a time, send me an email and let me know, and we'll get you scheduled just as soon as possible. Big love, big hugs, and big kisses. Oh yes, one more thing. I did put on my website Energy Shift Forecast, and you can click on there, and then there's a picture that looks like me on a TV screen in the upper corner. Click on Buy Now, and it'll take you over to where I have my Energy Shift Forecast every single week. It's a whole forecast. It talks about the week, it talks about what oils to use, it talks about what stones to use. We also look at different foods and what's happening. So instead of just the Energy Shift update I used to do on Tuesday, this is a whole big dynamic thing. Just click over there. You can buy one episode at a time, or you can buy them all for a month ahead of time. So hope you'll join me over there. Have a good night. Big hugs and kisses.